All right, y'all, we're going to check out this boudoir photography business and see if it has BSS for these two Google searches. And y'all already know we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pin video, home video, somewhere around here. And that is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC graph here in white. Over on the left, the highest intent people, easy people, searching on Google, searching on social, social search, Google search for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And highest conversion rate, closest to the money. So we talk about here BSS is the videos we make about. And over on the right, the lowest intent people, they ain't searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. They are actually, they are actually not even able to search that because most of them don't even know what boudoir is. So lowest intent peeps, got to reach them through interruption ads on Facebook or Instagram. And our sister brand we talk about that is Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, and we talk about BLCS over there. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. So when boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0 slots, I mean, we're dying here. And that means 0 slots page 1 means we're page 2 or deeper. And we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even reach page 2. So they're page 1 and done searches. And that means we're not being seen, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the market, which is actually the bulk of the market. 1 slot on page 1 Google, that's not good either because now there's 10 organic slots, page 1 on Google. There's 9 other slots. Let's say there's 9 other boudoir photographers. So we got 1 slot, same as everyone else. We look the same as everyone else. We're not standing out at all. A boudoir buyer is actually just going to click down all 10 links and contact every boudoir photographer, drive compare prices, drive the prices down as much as possible, negotiate, margins collapse. So we cannot have only 1 slot on Google page 1 either. Next, 0 or 1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's common, it's accepted, but it's not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. There's 2 deeper root causes. First one is market saturation. Basically, everyone knows about this one. Like just over time, people get new iPhones, people get new cameras, new gear, and they're throwing up their Google My Business profile saying they now offer boudoir photo shoots. They throw up, their website saying they're now a boudoir photographer. They post in the mom groups on Facebook saying they now shoot boudoir. So more sellers for the same number of buyers make it harder and harder for every single seller. Now, the one that most people do not know about is the false belief of page 1 equality. This kind of, automatically accepting or not really questioning that, yeah, every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google, and yeah, maybe my website was ranked 8th page 1 on Google. Then we had some market saturation coming in, and now, now I'm on page, I'm the second option, slot 2 on page 2. And it's like, well, that's market saturation. That's what happens. But I hope, that, basically I hope they delete their website and Google de-indexes them so Google can bring me back on page 1. And so this is this is like kind of accepting this is actually a false belief, because what I figured out is Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days using this new methodology we developed. So the false belief of page 1 quality is exactly that. It's a false belief. Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. Next, a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So we got our micro universe brewing here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. But thankfully, we now have a solution. We've discovered that BSS is actually treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And we know this because we invented it. And what's special about this is, well, first thing, how it works is exactly how the name says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest boudoir buyer and the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city, making sure we show up there. That's kind of like the snow on the top of the Andes Mountains in South America, on the backside of those mountains, the eastern side. Because what happens down there is that snow melts into small streams, small rivers, and eventually it all floods into the Amazon River. That's Google page one. The snow at the top of the backside of those mountains, that's social search saturation. So we got to start with the snow, social search saturation to dominate page one Google search. And again, this is the exact methodology I use to go from 0 to 10 slots page one on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page one on Google in only 10 days. Now, what's special about this strategy is this is the only strategy I've seen for boudoir photographers that can successfully fight against market saturation and allow boudoir photography business to continue to grow, even without, basically in a relatively quick time frame. The second option that is out there is having a large, massive brand, but that doesn't satisfy the relatively quick requirement because that takes like 5 to 10 years. And interestingly enough, I believe this strategy, SQ methodology, can actually speed up creating a brand by approximately 8x kind of normal methods because we're on so many different surfaces being seen so much. That's, we're really hammering the mere exposure effect here, in our city's minds, kind of as a secondary benefit to getting these page one slots on Google. And, let's do an example here, S-Cube methodology. So let's say we're in Tampa, Florida. There's 1 million boudoir photographers in the market. We're one of them. Everyone's got a website saying they shoot boudoir. Everyone's fighting for page one Google search. We're like, do these competitions and saying our only chance, well, since we don't have a brand, large known brand, our only chance to effectively compete here is, basically it is to utilize S-Cube methodology. So what we do is we crank it up to the max. So we crank up S-Cube methodology to the max, and let's say we get the first 300 slots for social search for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city, and those flow down onto Google. Let's say we get the first 300 slots on Google as well, and each page is 10 organic slots. So we're taking up basically the first 30 pages on Google. So basically anywhere a boudoir buyer looks in our city, we're taking up, let's say, the first 300 slots, any surface they search, social search, Google search, whatever search. And so if we're essentially the only one boudoir photographer they can find, whose business is going to be growing in this marketplace? Obviously our business is going to be the only one growing. And so the other 999,999 other boudoir photographers, competitors, they're all disappearing, they're on like page 31 of Google. Like, or if we know approximately 80% of peeps ain't even hitting page 2, we already know there ain't nobody going to page 31. So this is a kind of an example, like ultra extreme version of how this can enable a boudoir photography business to grow in the presence or in a market getting more and more saturated over time, and even in the face of larger brands. Now, once true with the S-Cube methodology, we have page one visibility. So initial benefit is, obviously we're getting more slots page one Google search, but the second benefit actually a lot of boudoir photographers say they like this second initial benefit the best. So every time we take that new slot, we're actually kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. So we're putting them on page 2 or deeper, and we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even reach page 2. They're page 1 and done. So we're effectively disappearing our competitors where we can control if they disappear or not. And a disappearing boudoir photographer is kind of the flashing light, the warning signal that their boudoir photography business is on the path to disappearing as well. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. This is where the GBC universe recommends hitting a recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google. And hitting that recommended minimum is because basically every other boudoir photographer is going to have one slot page one on Google. So if we got three, I mean, we're dominating them right there. If they, ultra rare case, they got two, our three still dominates them. So we want to hit 3 out of 10 page one slots Google search. Now, boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. This is our full micro universe here. We got a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. Okay, all well and good. We understand that now, but now we have a solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Now for my results using this S-cubed methodology was I wanted to rank and dominate page one for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. Now the organic slots here, that's what S-cubed methodology is for. So let's go down through them, see how many I got. So first one, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So again, I'm from 0 out of 10 slots page one on Google, page one Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots page one Google search in only 10 days. So these are my results that I got utilizing this strategy. And now we're going to check out this. We're going to see if this boudoir photography business has BSS, what we've been talking about, boudoir search sameness. All right. The first search, we always do the local search. This is boudoir photographer, Langley Township, British Columbia. So it's out east, some suburb part or whatever of BC. So we got the Google 3-pack. All right. Now we're at the Google's, the organic. So we got Klein. All right, this is who we're looking for. So we got one slot. And then let's see. All right, Klein again, but that's Langley Branding Photographer. It's not boudoir. We're not relevant to the keywords that we actually searched. So people's brain's actually going to scroll right by this, not even see it because they're searching for boudoir. And this happens like instantly in their brain. So that doesn't count. Going down, going down, going down. All right, so Klein we got 1 out of 10 here. So that's BSS for this search, the local search. Let's go to the city level search. Now we're searching boudoir photographer Vancouver, BC. So we're still looking for Klein again. All right, we got Klein here, boudoir, all right. And that's it. We got BSS for both searches. So, as more market saturation happens, higher chance, we'll begin pushed off, that we get pushed off page one to page two of death. And even on page one, we're looking the same as everyone else, having only, 1 out of 10 links here. So again, this is the false belief of page one equality in action, which is actually the most common false belief I'm seeing among boudoir photographers. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, you realize now you got BSS, you do your local search, you do your city search. You now understand what the false belief of page one equality is, or a lot of people had never even thought about it before, kind of accepted it as normal. So there wasn't really, again, a phrase or a word to describe it. But now people are like, oh yeah, that definitely doesn't make any sense to automatically assume page one equality is normal or kind of default. So yeah, definitely a false belief. And you understand market saturation, how it's been, slowly, people get new iPhones, new gear. But now you see AI. And you see AI actually putting people out of work, taking people's jobs. And so you see most likely there's going to be an additional increase in boudoir photographers caused by AI, people losing their jobs, having to generate income. So it's not people only get a new iPhone or only get a new camera now. There's going to be a mass, AI, you believe there's going to be a massive influx of actually new people entering as boudoir photographers, more supply of boudoir photographers fighting for the same number of buyers. And you see that's coming. And you assume it's only ever going to keep increasing as AI takes more and more and more jobs. There's more and more boudoir photographers being forced to enter the market to earn income. And you're saying, okay, well, ads, you pay for ads, they work, they don't work, they're not permanent. You stop spending, they stop existing. Ads is only like, text ads, one slot, local service ad, one slot. If you can even get approved for local service ads. And there's no real staying momentum there. If you stop paying, it stops existing, you stop existing. And so you're seeing SQ's methodology, you can see it can actually give momentum to having more links on page one, basically as many links as we want to put the work in to acquire. Has much more momentum than ads. And so you're seeing SQ methodology like, boom, this is what I want. I want to achieve page one visibility in preparation of all the kind of new boudoir photographers going to enter the market because AI is going to be taking tons of people's jobs. And you want to make sure you stay a visible boudoir photographer, even more visible, achieve boudoir search visibility, hit the GBC minimum, 3 out of 10 for local search and city search. And you also want the extra bonuses on the back end from using S-Cube's methodology, which is, we're basically creating thematic keyword pillars around our brand for social search to know and understand, Google search to know and understand, and for all the AIs to know and understand, which means every new thing we rank for, or new keyword or more of the same keyword that we rank more and more for, it's building this thematic keyword pillar around our name, around our brand, which increases the probability we get recommended for AI search. AI overview at the top of Google and AI search like ChatGPT search, searching best boudoir photographer in whatever, Fayetteville, Arkansas. ChatGPT search, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search, Claude search, Perplexity search. And we're literally seeing, so you're seeing that. And the final thing you're seeing is, man, if someone else hops onto this in your city first, kind of takes the first action, works with me on it, then, my plan right now is to only work with one person per city. So you'd have to recreate S-Cubed methodology, re-engineer our proprietary methodology. So you'd have to figure out how to do it right first. And then if we're already working with someone else, you'd have to kind of, if you equal our output, when you'd have to do it correctly, then you would kind of maintain a laggard place behind us while we're eating up those page one Google search, getting the thematic keyword pillars for our brand for AI search to be recommended, because more and more search is going to AI. Dude, I haven't done a standard Google search in like maybe a year. I use the AI mode. I literally don't try to go look for anything, type on links to read anything. But basically, to build up that momentum, actually to pass us, you'd have to exceed our capacity all on your own. And so you're like, screw that, I'd rather be the first mover, prep myself for more boudoir photographers coming in because of AI taking people's jobs, start building up my momentum, back in momentum AI search, kick my competitors out or potential future competitors out by dominating the highest intent keywords. Because you need to do this in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. Then shoot me a DM when I open up for new patient intake. The hospital is not open right now. The hospital is closed. But when I do open up for new patient intake, shoot me a DM and we will see if you qualify for using S-Cubed methodology.